Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about neo-democracy, not democracy, but neo-democracy. What democracy is, or as the globalists who are definitely in control are defining it as in the current year and as they would see it well beyond. Democracy now means something other than we thought it meant. We thought democracy meant free and fair elections, a secret ballot, that it meant, and democracy thus meant, rule of law, due legal process, independent courts, independent media, politicians as servants, people and public services as servants of the people, and so on. This has gone pretty much all gone by the wayside. The global democracy, law, rule of law, due legal process, independent media, it just gets in the way of the globalist agenda. They haven't got any fucking time for it. It gets in the way. It just obstructs them. It's cumbersome to deal. It wants to deal with bullshit laws. Just declare an emergency and go around it. I mean, gee whiz. Laws and courts and independent courts, judges, is all bullshit. When you're trying to take control of the globe, it's all bullshit. And that's the globalist attitude. But so they've had to redefine democracy and what it means. Now, there's a whole bunch of globalists, including a lot of US politicians, sitting politicians that have come out. Ukraine, it's a beacon of democracy. Can't you just feel that democracy there in the Ukraine? Those damn fucking Russians. Putin is invading a democracy, the sacred democracy. We've got to protect it. Americans have to lay their lives down to protect this democracy. But wait a minute. Stop. Democracy? Who the fuck are you kidding? To say that they've had a couple of votes that they've pretty much ignored anyway, and to what extent they've been valid is quite another matter. But let's suppose that they more or less were, valid votes. To call the Ukraine a democracy is really a stretch. The president has powers to unilaterally and arbitrarily declare an emergency, which in effect suspend the constitution, suspend due legal process, rule of law. And so the president can just decide, I'm shutting down all the media, I'm imprisoning my political opponents, anyone that criticizes me is going to go to prison, and anyone that criticizes my policies or decisions I make can go to prison without trial. And even if you manage to get a trial, the judge that hears is going to be one of my flunky stooge mates, buddies, and who'll do what the fuck they're told to do if they want their cozy job to stay. And so you'll go to prison anyway. So don't think you can get around it by appealing to the law or anything like that. But the globalists have been really singing the praises of Zelensky. And but what are the reasons that he is viewed as being democratic and such a democratic guy, such a man of the people? Well, look, what he's doing is he's creating safe spaces for lesbian skateboarding. That's it. Well, I mean, what a democratic act that is. Like, arbitrarily imprison someone who disagrees with you, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Put them in front of some bullshit kangaroo court. What's the problem? Imprison your political opponents. Go, hey, let's do a bit more of it. But if you have a lesbian skateboard safe space, you are a fucking Democrat. You are supporting democracy. You are furthering democracy. You are bringing democracy around the world. Can't you feel the goodness? Can't you feel the love of the democracy there? Just by lesbian safe spaces. And wait for this. If you've got the LGBT rainbow flag flying from every building, you are democracy. It's democracy, I tell you. Just imprison a few more of those motherfuckers around the corner. Shall we charge them? We don't charge them. Put them in fucking prison. We're a democracy. We've got the rainbow flags out there. So it seems to me that if you support race and gender conflict, if you support rainbow flags, if you support lesbian skateboarding safe spaces, if you support black lesbian this and so that, then that means that's democracy now. That is democracy, because it's equity, and equity is democracy. the idea of, you know, the vote and the people's choice. Look, they're all fucking Hitler anyway. Why would you give Hitler the vote? You wouldn't. So get rid of those motherfucker voters there. They're all Hitlers anyway. And let's just do what we know is right, which is rainbow flags, lesbian skateboard safe spaces, and gender studies classes compulsorily for all. And anyone that, you know, just throw people in prison that don't like it. I mean, they're Hitler anyway, so they don't deserve legal rights. And this is pretty much, I think, where democracy is going. That's how it's being defined. If you look at the things that, say, the Biden administration is doing as an example, or even any, you go to any Western country today, they are seeing rainbow flags means democracy. The vote for people they don't like means fascism. And that's the paradigm they forced on us. It's, of course, absolute nonsense, utter fucking nonsense. But that's what they're going. And they're sucking in a lot of, you know, like the college kids type thing. Oh, yeah, lesbian safe space, oh, that's so equal, the equity, oh, yeah, that's democratic, oh, yeah. And this is how I think it's going, and this is how it's playing out. So when you look at what they see as democracy, including, as I mentioned earlier, American politicians, British politicians, and so on, when you look at what democracy means, what democracy now means is that you're firmly in the globalist camp and you're doing all the things the globalists want to destroy and crush any social cohesion in the white Western world. You've been with Tassos today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.